Hai, nama saya Alia Mariam binti Ibrahim. Saya berumur 21 tahun dan saya adalah pemain rugby 7 sebelah untuk pasukan Negeri Selangor, Cobra Venom dan juga Politeknik Malaysia. Position saya adalah di bahagian forward as a prop, walaupun pada awalnya saya adalah pemain winger. Dah tukar lah sebab dah tak laju kan. So basically, I start daripada main sukan bola jaring. Macam kita tahu, bola jaring sangatlah tak terdedah kepada contact, dan rugby tackle ni memang we are exposed to contact, and by that time I decided to start something new. Masa start pergi selection tu, I know that people will have doubts in me, so I didn't tell anyone. I cakap dekat my friend, which is yang recommend me to go there. I came alone. So I went through the selection and I got selected, Alhamdulillah, and then continue the journey in rugby. Start daripada on that day, so it was quite good lah. How do I break perception that rugby is not for boys only? So, for me, rugby is not for boys only. Rugby is for everyone, regardless their weight, their height and their gender. Because girls can be as tough as boys juga. So, don't judge the book by its cover, I guess. And then, the way I nak break the perspective of semua orang is basically by join benda tu and prove it to them. Because that's how you shut people's mouth. Because I know, based on my size, people had doubts in me, my parents had doubts in me, my friends had doubts in me. And it was very hard to be in a situation where people had doubts in you. So the only way untuk I overcome my fear is actually being in the situation and prove it to them. So that's how I break the perception. And then by commit into the sport and support everyone that wanted to be in the same position as you are. So back in January 2019, start to recruit into the team. Masa tu memang every weekend, bayangkan daripada, sebab I study dekat Politeknik Limau, so every weekend memang I back to back. Like for a year, memang every weekend I have no time for my family, I have no time for my boyfriend, and I have no time for leisure. Memang every weekend memang training je, sebab I tahu I'm not that good in rugby and I baru start. And everyone macam, kita punya level lain-lain. I baru start, orang lain dah main setahun and orang lain dah ada better exposure in rugby. I tak ada. So nak tak nak I kena push myself. And then dia macam bring me a better person kot, I guess. Because like during the whole situation, my best friend kena drop. Slowly orang yang rapat dengan I semua kena drop. So it was quite hard to be in the team and bergaul dengan semua orang balik. But thank God, semua orang macam very supportive and sentiasa ada untuk everyone. And one thing about rugby that makes me want to go furthermore is the training is like very very hard, which is we have to be prepared mentally and physically. Main rugby tu memang pelik lah, sebab sebelum ni saya main sukan bola jaring, saya main kriket. So bola semua bulat, and then tiba bola bujur, nak sesuaikan dengan diri tu memang susah. Sebab tak pernah nak swing lagi, nak pop lagi, memang tak reti. Tapi Alhamdulillah dengan bantuan coach dan rakan-rakan, saya dapat buat dengan baik. And then memang saya tak pernah main touch rugby, memang tak ada exposure langsung dekat rugby. But saya decide untuk main rugby sebab saya nak overcome my fear. And tak pernah berada dalam situasi yang saya kena push myself. Even training before this, sukan lain dengan sukan rugby memang lain. Because like saya tak pernah like muntah training, tak pernah. Walaupun saya dah main banyak sukan, tapi tak pernah. Rugby memang push myself further every day. So, ni adalah part yang paling sedih dalam hidup saya, di mana tak ada siapa yang actually support saya untuk go through this rugby at first. Because macam kita tahu, rugby ni sangat exposed to injuries, and obviously lah, siapa je nak sakit kan. And saya ingat lagi coach saya, kalau tak nak sakit main catur, dia cakap macam tu. And then mostly masa first tu agak menyedihkan, sebab people had doubts in me, like everyone. Awak kurus, kenapa awak boleh main rugby? Awak tak takut ke? Lepas tu, and then the perspective of people yang cakap wanita ni kaum yang lemah. Saya tak rasa. Tengok dulu. So saya inspired by the national team. They're not very big, but they can do whatever guys can do. That is what inspires me the most. And I like how other girls could inspire other girls to be in rugby and be better for themselves and for the team. So at first, my parents were very against me playing rugby. But then I had to show them, which is time tu first, bukanlah tournament, dia macam selection process juga, which I played for the team for Sukma Selangor against Politeknik Malaysia. It's actually a friendly. My parents actually came to the game and mereka sangatlah, wow, Alia boleh main. Ingatkan boleh main bola jaring je, rupanya boleh main rugby juga. Time tu memang tak tahu basic, tak tahu apa. Macam I give all all in. Memang terus perform tak perform belakang cerita. Janji I give my heart to it. That's how I actually perform on that day and I got selected until now. Alhamdulillah. Everyone surrounding me, even I balik kampung memang, oh ni main rugby, tinggi macam ni, tinggi kurus macam ni main rugby. Macam rimas lah dengar sebenarnya, dengar benda yang sama daripada orang yang sama. Tapi sebab satu, mak saya suka post gambar saya main rugby kat Facebook. So orang macam impressed. Macam oh kalau dia boleh buat, kenapa anak aku tak boleh buat? So dia ada macam competition tau dekat dalam around family. So even though macam tu, it's a good competition where everyone want to be better for themselves. So I guess it's okay. So for me, sizing is not important to play rugby because have you seen our national team? Cindy, John, and they're small, but it's not how small you are, it's not how big you are, it's how big your heart wants to play for it, wants to go for it. It's always like that. If you ada talent and you ada the sizing tapi you tak boleh nak main, sama juga. If you tak go for it, sama juga. And I am very impressed with our national players such as Iza Azizan and Nur Farah Hana Aziz because they have the same size as me but they could play so much better than me. They're so good in whatever they are doing and I don't think sizing is actually matters to be in a team as long as you know what you're good at. Any critical injuries, the only injuries I had is when training. Heart injuries though. Penat dia nak lari. Training betul-betul sakit yang I rasa training is more painful than the game actually itself. Memang apa je suka training. Memang muntah-muntah semua. I don't like training. But it's what keeps you further and makes you feel better in the team. So the most painful is, it's not painful but dia macam remarkable memories for me that I actually played rugby is when I got my first bruises during Singapore 7-side. So we played in Singapore last year, 2019, and that time I got my first bruises. I was in the first 7 and then bila I started to play in the first 7, I actually got so excited and then when I actually got my first bruises, time tu I rasa macam a victory for me because I actually did something. So, I tunjuk semua orang bruises tu. So, I got bruises here and it's actually quite fun. Even though it's pain, but for me, I love the pain. Alhamdulillah, saya tak pernah lagi kena injury-injury yang teruk. Walaupun surrounding saya memang injury ACL, PCL, meniscus. Tapi Alhamdulillah saya tak pernah kena apa-apa. Harap tak kena lah pasti. Amin. So, any suggestion to any girl yang nak start rugby? For me, just go for it. Jangan have doubts in yourself. Just go for it and be brave and be mentally prepared. Oh, the training, damn. Sakit tu. Tapi, once you're mentally prepared, your physically will follow it as well. So, jangan takut lah, itu nasihat saya. And just go for it. Okay, so to girls out there yang nak try main rugby, nak have a better exposure in rugby, try untuk play rugby touch first. Because I think that's a great way for you to start yourself in rugby tackle. And if you wanted to join us, korang ada main tab petang-petang dekat Subang Jaya. So kalau nak datang, reach out to me or any players Sukma Selangor, you could be there. And kalau nak professionally be in a team in a proper way, boleh reach out to any players in Sukma Selangor for development Negeri Selangor. Disclaimer untuk perempuan je lah. So my achievement and my harapan to rugby Malaysia. Actually, being in rugby tackle, playing rugby is one of my greatest achievement, I would say. And I hope that other girls would inspire other girls to play rugby as the national women did to me. And I wish for rugby sevens to keep growing in Malaysia. And saya harap perempuan tak takut untuk mencuba, tak takut dengan perspektif orang yang akan bercakap tentang bahawa kaum perempuan ni adalah kaum yang lemah dan tak mampu nak mencuba. Sebab kita mampu untuk menjadi sekuat lelaki. Yay! So that is all from me. Bye.